Hello my friends, welcome to the start of another reading vlog adventure. This one is going to be pretty exciting because I'm going to be picking up a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I just finished The Last Graduate and I'm still pretty drawn on it. Like similar to that first one, there was this kind of the same problems that I didn't enjoy in the first one, kind of still present in the second one, but I just enjoyed kind of like the ending. Like the build up to it was a slog, but everything else, I don't know how I'm still drawn between it. But for this vlog, I will for sure be picking up A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I've heard a lot about it. I've heard that it's got some fae romance and fae smut, but other than that, I really have no idea what it's about. The only idea that I kind of have about it is that kind of our main perspective is that she killed a wolf and she has to repay that debt to kind of like the lord or something, like the Fey Lord of the forest maybe, I don't know, and she's kind of been transported to his kingdom or something. I have no idea, but I'm really excited for it. Been looking to get into a little bit more of fantasy romance, but I'm hoping that I get that from I've heard that the following books are pretty heavy on the fantasy romance with the smut and everything. But I am really excited for this. I'm also listening to Troy by Stephen Fry. I've been finishing that up, and it's just been interesting to kind of see how like Hollywood has kind of changed like the original story by Homer, and just throughout the ages, like it's also changed as well. And one thing I can say is I do not like Paris at all. Like in the Hollywood movie with Brad Pitt and Orlando Bloom, like I kind of fell for him, but listening to this account, I don't like him at all. He's not the best person in my opinion. Like, I don't know, he's killed his son, and he just treats Helen not the best. Like, he just controls her, and I ain't about that. But those are kind of my reading plans for the day. I gotta get a couple assignments done. It is Wednesday today, so I gotta do like a reflection, and then work on my personal statement, essay, kind of like that for grad school. And then I'll get to read, so I'll be checking in around lunchtime while I get ready to eat and pick up and start this book. Hopefully it lives up to the expectations, because they're very high right now, and I'm excited for them. Good afternoon, my friends. It has been a very long day, very busy day. I haven't done much reading, but I finally got to start A Court of Thorns and Roses at lunchtime while I was eating lunch, and I really do like how it's kind of kicked off and how Feyre already's kind of got herself in a pickle. And I can tell you right now, I already hate Nesta. Like, I'm only 2 chapters in. I can tell I hate her already. Like, but I'm also very interested to see where kind of the Fae comes in after she kind of murdered this wolf. So we'll see what happens here pretty soon. I'm gonna go cook some dinner. I think I'm gonna make some lentil shepherd's pie. It's comfort food for me. I love it so much. Get that going, put that in the oven, and then just sit down and read. So that's kind of what's gone down today. Just a lot of not fun stuff. But I'm hoping later tonight I'll get to read. So stay tuned. And dinner is served. This will get me through a couple days. This is a lot of food, but I'm gonna dig in and read. Hey, how's it going? It is Tuesday. I just got back from my first class, and now I'm in my Zoom call for my next class. So I'm going to whip up my lunch, eat that, get over with this class, and then I'm gonna give you a little bit of a check-in, because I did read quite a bit of A Court of Thorns and Roses last night. And I've got a lot to say. I do enjoy where it's going, and I'm excited to see where it goes. But I have to get through this very long class, so hopefully I survive. Good afternoon, my friends. I just got done with that long class, and I think it's time for a reading check-in because I'm really loving A Court of Thorns and Roses. But it is really kicked off with like what the plot is now. Feyre had to make a deal with the High Fae, and now she has found herself in Pyria, I believe that's what it's called, and she's just basically kind of like living at this estate with the kind of Fae. but I have a feeling that she's going to play a key role here pretty soon with kind of uncovering the truth behind the blight and it's this mysterious kind of sickness that is ravaging the fairy and all of them, and it might spread to the humans in the mortal world. So I think that she and Tamlin and Lucian, they're all going to kind of try and solve the problem, solve that sickness, and I think that's what's going to happen. I really love the writing. It has made it like it really fly by the little that I've read. Like sadly I haven't read much because I've just been busy, but that's about to change because I'm done for the day. I'm not doing any more work and I'm just going to go sit down and read. But I think just the writing has just made it just so much enjoyable, and when I like get fully immersed in the story, like I just can't put it down, and that's how it's been. Like I've flown through it. Like I started it late last night and I've read much today and I'm about 100 pages in. So I'm just flying through it and I love everything. I love the setup. I always kind of like Fae stories and everything, and I gotta say Tamlin's beast form, that was pretty dope. Like just like kind of this wolf with elk antlers. That's so cool. And I don't know, if I was a Fae, high Fae, I would choose that as kind of a form because I don't know why. That just sounds like that just sounds so cool. I also sense that there's going to be a love triangle here pretty soon. I heard that this was kind of fantasy romance, but I'm not the biggest fan of love triangles. Like sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And most of the time in the books I've read, it doesn't work. So maybe Sarah J. Maas will pull it off in this one. But I already kind of have a ship already in my mind that I would be disappointed if it doesn't turn out that way. If there is any kind of romance in this first one, I don't know. I also finished Troy. I've been listening a lot to audiobooks, kind of going to classes, driving and all that, and cooking lunch, and getting that stuff around. So I did finish Troy by Stephen Fry, and it's just like the others. Like I love them so much. I just love Greek mythology and learning more about it. But I think the best way to go with these is by listening to his narration of them, because he just like he adds in like humor and everything else. It's like Rick Riordan for adults, and I just love how he narrates it. He's a comedian, a producer, so it really shows in his production of the audiobook, and I loved it. I love learning more about Troy because I learned a lot about kind of just the myths and the heroes growing up, but I never learned anything about Troy, and I haven't read the Iliad or the Odyssey, so it was really kind of nice to finally learn a little bit of background knowledge so that when I do pick up the Iliad and the Odyssey, I will kind of have a key, like a little bit of prior knowledge going in. But those are all, the whole trilogy, they're a blast. I definitely recommend them. I'm interested to see where he kind of goes next, because this was only like the trilogy that he was planning, so I don't know, maybe we'll see what's up the alley for him next. But that is kind of all for this reading check-in. I need to go get busy reading, because that is like my only highlight of the day, and I really need some stress relief, so that is what I'm going to go do. Good morning, my friends. I just got done filming a tag video, and I thought I'd give you a little bit of reading check-in because I'm about halfway through A Court of Thorns and Roses, and like a broken record, I'm just going to say that I am enjoying where it's going. I'm loving learning more about just the kind of Perinthian world and all the different courts and their politics going on, as well as how it's kind of like the blight is starting to affect them more, and learning more about it through Phaedra's kind of perspective, and her just going around kicking ass, taking names, learning more about the different fairies throughout the different courts, and getting to finally get to paint a little bit. I'm hoping to see more about that. But just like the different kind of court politics that I've got just a little bit, I'm about like 160 pages in, so it hasn't got much in depth with it, but just it's hinted at kind of a lot of things going on just in the background, and that the mortal world has kind of misunderstood just a lot of the different things going on within Perinthian. And I thought it was interesting how kind of during the battle that happened, like some of the fairies kind of fought with the humans. So I'm interested to see if that'll kind of come back into the future or something. Maybe it'll come up, but just Feyre as a character, she is really badass, and she's going around taking names, like I said. But also the other two characters, Lucien and Tamlin, I also feel like I'm getting a little bit more of them each, so I'm enjoying that as well. Tamlin is pretty cool. I don't know, Lucien, I feel bad for him. Like, he's cool too, and I really feel bad for him and his past, because just learning about that broke my heart. Because earlier on, I wasn't getting along with him very well, but kind of understanding him a little bit more, I'm starting to feel for him. So I hope that some happiness comes to him in the future. Also, in the last 50 pages or so, the romance and angst is kind of starting to kick off a little bit, and I'm interested to see what really happens and who ends up with who. I've got a ship planned already, and if it doesn't happen, I'm gonna be mad. But a lot of my booktube friends said that the romance isn't as heavy, the smut and everything isn't as heavy in this first one. So maybe you'll give me a brief intro to what's to come and prepare me for that. So I'm excited for that. I'm beginning to understand why a lot of people like this whole series in general, and Sarah J. Maas's works. Like, just her writing and everything going on with it, just like the different complexities and stuff going on, I just really enjoy. I've always been a fan of the Fae and everything, so I'm gonna fly through this. I also started In the Heart of the Sea. This is a non-fiction about the tragedy of the whale ship Essex, and I honestly am pretty bored right now through it. It's just been covering the history of Nantucket and just them having this kind of tradition about killing sperm whales, and it just breaks my heart, because when we look around our oceans today and we wonder why everything is the way it is, we can point to people like this and understand that they had to do this for the industrial kind of time period and stuff like that, but still, I don't think we needed to go around killing a ton of whales, so that has been heartbreaking. But I'm hoping that soon it gets into kind of just the travel and what goes on and how it inspired Moby Dick, because I honestly don't remember anything from when I read it. But I don't know, I'm bored right now, but I'm hoping it kicks off pretty soon. I'm not that far into it, so that's it's just explaining the background of Nantucket and the ship and the crew. So here pretty soon I think it will take off, if I remember correctly. But my camera is about to die, so I need to get busy with a couple school things, and then I got class, and then I just have all the time in the world to read. I'll probably cook dinner later tonight, so I have no idea what it is, but that's this reading check-in. Class done, paper wrote, story edited. It has been a busy day, and I have very little to report. I did get to read a little bit during lunch, and the romance is really starting to kick off here. Really, like a little bit. Tamlin and Feyre, I believe, are starting to catch some feelings for each other, and I don't know, because Feyre is still kind of drawn between how she really feels for the fairies. But I think Tamlin is slowly starting to change that. I think it's going to just erupt here pretty soon, and things are going to go down. It also got more into the discussion of this kind of mysterious she or her that is kind of maybe be behind this blight or whatever's going on, and maybe some war is going to kick off here pretty soon. I don't know. She's very mysterious, but both Tamlin and Lucien are both kind of afraid of her, I think. I don't know. Tamlin is pretty fierce, but I think he might be scared of this mysterious person. I really hope that it kind of expands more on just Feyre's painting, because I do like to paint. I'm not the best artist, as you saw from my jack-o'-lantern, but I feel like it's so comforting to paint. So I really hope that Feyre finds some joy in painting despite everything going on. But now I am finished for the day, so I'm gonna go get some soup on the stove, get that cooking, and just sit down and read the rest of the night, because today has been stressful. So I hope you all had a splendid day. And dinner is done. Just a random vegetable soup. Just throw it all there in a pot and hope it turns out alright. if I look like a tomato, it's because I just did some yoga, so that is why. But today has been really busy. I went and got groceries, and you know what's crazy? People have already got Christmas stuff out. They were already playing Christmas music, they had the Christmas candles out, Christmas decorations were already out. So everyone is just, I guess, in the mood for the holidays. And pretty soon I will be catching those feelings as well, I feel. Because that Mariah Carey, when it played in Targets, it kind of hit me. It hit me with those holiday feelings. But also, I felt like it is the time to give a reading check-in for Akator. It's been really kicking off. I've said that so many times that it's kicking off and kicking off. But now it is really started to kick off. There was a little bit of smut in the last kind of couple chapters that I read. It's been like slowly building throughout kind of the book as they kind of slowly start to catch feelings for each other. And I was expecting it to come, and then it just, boom, it was there, and they were getting busy. And then when it was just starting to get good for them, Feyre had to leave. She just, things were happening. Without going into spoilers, she was just forced to leave, and now they're heartbroken, and I'm kind of heartbroken as well, because I was kind of getting a little bit of butterflies from seeing their relationship grow, and I was happy for them, and now I'm sad for them. But it's also been great, like, understanding more of kind of just like the power dynamics between the different courts and the politics going on, and just like the constant tension that's kind of on the bridge of just completely going overboard, and things are about to just like unfold between like the different courts, between like war and the blight and just rivalries, and kind of introducing new characters as well, like Lysandre, I can't remember what his name is. I already don't like him. I didn't like him when Feyre first met him at that ceremony. Oh, that is another thing I forgot to mention, that the ceremonies, the Fae kind of ceremonies that they do and parties that they have, they're legit. And I wish I was there. I wish I was at one of them, because they get down. And then with Nesta, I feel like I might have been too hard on her in the beginning. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out in these last like 150 pages. I'm about almost to the 300 page mark. So I've been just like flying through, and I've been enjoying it. It's been kind of just like the slow build up to kind of just understanding the plot and kind of introducing everything, you to the characters, the world, what's going on, the blight, and how Feyre is kind of going to play a role with it. And now in these last like 200 pages, I think it's just going to really just be pretty fast paced and kind of just on the edge of my seat. So I'm hoping that when I pick it up here pretty soon, I won't be able to put it down. Also, when I was getting groceries, I listened to The Terror, and it just continues to break my heart with the things that the whalers do to put money in their pocket, going around killing whales, going to the Galapagos and just murdering, killing all kinds of the tortoise, and just burning down a whole island. So, I mean, that happened, and now we don't have animals we have animals that are extinct now because of this. So it continues to break my heart. But also, the ship has been destroyed, and they're stuck at sea. And eventually, people are going to start eating each other, because that's what happened. But we'll see where that goes. I don't have many plans for the rest of the day. Kind of, I've been chill. Did all my work earlier today. I need to vacuum and finish cleaning up the apartment. And then I have leftover soup, so I'm going to eat that. But I think I might just end up watching Dune on HBO, because I can continue not to find a seat in any of the theaters around here. So maybe that's what I'll do. Or Shang-Chi, because I saw the Disney Plus release that, and I really want to watch that as well. So either one of those. And then tomorrow I think I'm going to make like some banana bread, because I have some ripe bananas and they need to be used. So that's probably what I'm going to do tomorrow. But today, watch a Dune or Shang-Chi and continue to read Akator, because I love it. But that is my reading check-in Saturday, and now I need to get busy. Good morning, my friends. It is Sunday, so if you hear the washing machine in the background, I had to wash my clothes, I'm sorry. I didn't have anything left. But it is a nice, sunny Sunday day, and it is time to give you a little bit of a reading check-in, because I am almost done with Avatar. The first book, I've just been flying through it, and if I don't give you a check-in now, I'll forget everything. I was wondering when kind of the Beauty and the Beast retelling was gonna come into play, and when it did, like when it was explained, I was a little bit heartbroken, but just like heartwarmed at the same time to see what Tamlin and Feyre will do for each other. Like, it just brings you a little bit of joy, but then at the same time, it just rips your heart in half because of what happened and what Feyre now has to do. So these last couple 70 pages or 100 pages are going to be heartbreaking, I feel. But I'm at the part where Feyre is kind of going through the trials and everything going on with the kind of under the mountain and just the different court politics and their dynamics, and how Amarantha, just pure evil, and how she's controlling everything and just putting Feyre through hell. So that is what's going on. That's where I'm at. I think I'm almost at the start of the second trial, and I'm very interested to see what Lysan's kind of his goals are here, because I don't particularly like him. Like, I don't know. It's mixed feelings with him, but I'm interested to see what his kind of deeper goals are with just everything going on. But I am nearing the end, so I feel like these last couple pages are gonna be just a breeze, because I've just enjoyed the whole book. The romance, I would say that this is probably a little bit more romance than more of kind of like a plot. Like here in the last little bit, it's kind of been going more in depth with kind of just the plot and setting up for the series. But like, I did enjoy kind of the fantasy romance that I got throughout the earlier part of the book. So I am very interested to see how it will expand and the other books, because I believe this is like a 5 or 6 book series. So that's a lot of books. So I don't know where we'll kind of go after this first book. I've also been making my way through the Terror, and it's just more kind of into the survival at sea and what they're having to do to make it out alive. And I am actually almost done with that as well, so I will be finishing that as well here pretty soon. But today, I got to get around for the week. I think I'm going to put on Shang-Chi, because I've been wanting to watch that for a while now. I love magic, and I think there's a little bit of magic involved in this, kind of like similar to Doctor Strange. So I might put that on, make some banana bread, and kind of just get around for the week. So that's the plan for the day. Good morning, my friends. Happy Monday. I had some family visit yesterday, so I didn't check in very much. But I finished A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I did like that ending. I was expecting it to kind of leave off at a little bit more of like a cliffhanger, because this is like a 5-book series, but I'm very interested to see where it'll go. Maybe this mysterious king in the West will start playing a role, because towards the end it started to hint more about that. But just like the ending and just the trials that Feyre had to go through, like, it was heartbreaking to see through the things that she had to go through, but it just warmed my heart to see what she was now going to do to kind of like save the day, essentially. Like, she was put up against all odds, and she found a way. I think I'm going to end up giving it 4 stars, and that was mainly because I was kind of expecting it to have like a little bit kind of more of like an action. It felt like it was more just kind of fantasy romance, and that was still good. Like, I did enjoy kind of like the romance aspects, but it seems like it didn't really start kicking off until towards the end. So I was a bit disappointed by that, because the main part, I guess, like, the thing about it though is the first kind of 300 pages or so, it's basically kind of setting up the world and giving you all the information you need. And then just like those last like 100 pages or so are just like fast paced and on the go. So I did enjoy just like learning about the world and everything. It was just, I was expecting a little bit kind of more in the beginning, but other than that, like, it was still a fun time. I really enjoy it, and I can't wait to pick up the next one. Another thing I'm going to say is I don't know if I can forgive Lysan's for what he did to Feyre. Despite how the ending played out, I don't know if I can forgive him. Like, he's got a lot of work to do in these next couple books if he wants to make up for it, because right now, I'm not the biggest fan of him. But yesterday I was hoping to make some banana bread and stuff, but I didn't because of just time. I did watch Shang-Chi. I started it, I'm about halfway through. I'm gonna finish that today, but that was pretty cool. Like, I'm enjoying that. Like, I love all Marvel movies. Like, trying to pick a favorite one is like trying to pick your favorite book, so I'm gonna finish that soon. But other than that, those are my final thoughts for A Court of Thorns and Roses. I really hope you enjoyed. I think I'm gonna wrap up the vlog here and start a new one because it started a new book, and I guess you'll have to wait and see to find out what it is. It's one of my books, one of the books I've been really wanting to pick up because of just how much I love the other ones. So I think I'm gonna cut the vlog off here and start that new one, so be on the lookout for that soon. But I really hope you enjoyed this reading vlog, watching me read a very popular book that everyone has already read and I'm way behind on. But other than that, I hope you all have a splendid day. If you did enjoy this, please consider liking and subscribing so you never miss out on another adventure. But I think it's time to leave you with a message from Ellie, who first wishes you a splendid day, but she also says that adventure is out there. So I'll catch you next time. Bye.